So, good evening guys, welcome to OTL Season 2, Round 10 Spa, or Belgium I should say. I'm joined this evening as always on a Monday with Jensen. Good evening sir. How are we?
Chris.
How are we?
Yes, I am good. A well rested week.
Yes, and we start off a new, we could say a new era for OTL. I think is something we should maybe talk about first, so that every day has a little note pre-race. OTL starts what they are branding as OTL Elite on Wednesday. A much faster pace of driver, and that doesn't mean that the OTL Monday nights is not high caliber racing, because people that tune in and watch can very much see that it is. But these guys, you're probably looking at like the top 250 kind of mark and above in the world, apart from me.
Thanks for that, Chris. You're there.
And yes, so that comes. They start off their season at Austria, or our season, as myself and Jensen will be there as drivers, not spectators. We start our season on Wednesday at Austria, so that's going to be one to tune in and have a watch of. But on to this evening, Jensen, Spa. We have, I think, a very exciting race ahead.
Yeah, the guys are back to work this week. That's probably, I'd say, the hardest track on the calendar, the hardest non-street circuit, let's just say that. Spa it's probably the most deadly curbs other in Hungary, let's just say that. And yeah, such a high speed track, such a difficult one to nail. And yeah, we don't know how everything's gonna go. I don't know how the guys' pace is around here, so I haven't heard from some of the guys, which I usually get to before, but
so I think Mike, I know Mike is looking, he's somewhere in the 41s. I'm not going to give a flat time off, but he's in that 41 mark. So I think reasonably competitive. I think we're going to see Nelly right in that ballpark of lap time as well. But interesting to see Mr. Rage last week, Jensen. I think he was a pleasant surprise, and we could probably say, going on last week's pace, a good addition to what could be a building front battle at the front of the OTL Monday nights. We know Nelly has that outright pace, but there's some guys just not making the jobs very easy week in, week out, and I think it's adding an open dynamic to the championship.
yeah, I think Rage coming in, there's just more people coming in to try and challenge Nelly. I think that's OTL's new objective is to try and stop Nelly from winning every race. But I mean, yeah, Rage, brilliant performance in Hungary, a bit unlucky with the penalties and what else that happened, but still, that was a good debut performance, and surely more to come for Spa, hopefully to improve on that.
Yes, so who would you say, going into this evening, Jensen, who would you say probably walks into tonight favourite? Would you say Nelly still holds that crown, or would you say, if you are putting the drivers kind of in the betting order, would you put Mike and Nelly reasonably close to each other, kind of in the idea of just whoever gets that little bit extra out the laps probably going to be the driver that sticks it on pole?
I think Mike, this is much more of a Wales circuit, Chris. Just remember that.
This is very true.
Mike, this might be a good ground for Mike to assert.
I mean, on previous years, Mike races well at Belgium as well.
Yeah. Don't know, has he ever won in Belgium before?
I think he got hampered in a win a couple of seasons back for HOR. He was on the alternate strat, and he was down in like P9, and the second stint was really coming to him. And I think something happened, but he looked definite to be well high in the podium, if not go on and win the race.
I think that was season 7, I don't know. But yeah, I think in previous seasons as well, he kept really high up there on the grid. Good qualifying and a race pace, definitely. So, I mean, we haven't seen Nelly go around Spa yet. Has OTL ever been Spa
That
yet?
is a very, very good point, Jensen. I think this is the first time OTL visits Belgium. So we don't actually know what kind of race we're going to get tonight.
Yeah, I think tonight, yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting one for sure. I mean, if we raced in a track at OTL before, we would know most of the driver's pace. We can make an early prediction, but we don't because we haven't been here.
I think we could see the likes of Mikey, a wheel driver who's always shown the kind of the myths of being able to. He's at the topper side of the kind of midfield pack in OTL, if you like, and if the conditions come and maybe strategies differ, he can put a challenge on up the front. So it'll be interesting to see if he, on his wheel, can close a gap to maybe some of the pad guys round about him and put himself in a more commanding position tonight. A driver that's on a little bit of a momentum roll is Mikey.
Well, we're gonna see in a few seconds' time.
Weather as well. Don't say chat because we don't want to know, but we know how interchangeable the weather. Dry,
gleaming sunshine,
very, very bright.
Qualifying. Yes, I'd say optimum weather for qualifying, Chris. But of course, we don't know what the race is gonna be, and of course, like Chris said, do not spoil it.
No,
we want
the
surprise here.
So let's go to the chat. Let's see. Mikey said, "Evening, good evening, Mikey." SPW, it's a good job. Jensen is here to translate. Wow. Yeah, I'm either going to get tons of penalties or crash. Well, I hope you get both now, SPW. Mike versus Nelly doesn't exist anymore.
So
Wise, don't understand that. And Midgie says a fun one, yes.
First driver out. So Mike
Apologies.
and Sabu, first two. It's alright. Chris, I'd probably interrupted you there, but
nah. Oh, Pedro's left the session. Probably not got set up.
Oh.
He will be back.
So this could be an interesting one. Slipstream, Chris. Will the teammates help their fellow teammates out a bit?
Well, I don't think Sibo and Pedro's ever seen eye to eye, so I don't think there's any chance of the Haas boys getting any slipstream. They just seem to go hammer and tongs when it comes to on-track battles, so I think they'll be doing each other no favours. Drivers like Mikey and F. Lewis, Jensen, I could definitely see them two trying to kind of give each other the hand. Officer Duffy has no teammate. Oh, that's a shout as well. Mike and Mitch and Nelly. Mitch is in the Ferrari, I think. Mike and Mr. Rage, it would be. They possibly could. I know they're in a party together, so.
Yeah, Mike and Mr. Rage. I thought, I think we got confused a bit with the URL there, with Mitch being the Ferrari.
So I think the best pick strat here, Jensen, is probably soft to hards. Would that be right?
It's difficult. Hards to softer, hard, softer mediums. I think the hards would be slower offset at the start of the hard stint, but it'll be quicker at the end when the tyres are getting better. But the Haas of Sabu is now on a flying lap.
A tricky lap to not get invalidated, especially as you go through Eau Rouge and Radion. You don't want to be using too much of the curbs either. As Jensen was stating earlier in the session, curbs here are deadly.
To give an example, this exit curb here that Cebu just went, very weird elevation. It's not really like real life. This one definitely, if you touch that inside curb, you're gone. Pull on will spit you into the barrier. or into a spin.
And I think we could see Puon maybe claim a few victims in the race. It's definitely a corner in league racing that does catch people out, especially when you're in the dirty air of another car. Sorry, Jensen.
The inside curb before that, and the inside curb he just went before there as well.
And then on the run up, do not abuse bus stop, because bus stop is another corner, slow speed, but also very easy to swap the car around, even at the speed you're going.
Touch the curbs, yeah. I think
Apex, nice.
gets that pretty nicely. That was a very nice end to the lap for him, but it's a 43.5 to start of qualifying. That's a decent run for him. Mike in the pits.
Senna's retired. I think he's dropped the car out turn 1 there, Jensen. On board with Nelly on his medium.
I think he has dropped it.
SPW a 42.7. Wow.
Mediums as well. Same with Mataman. I think Mataman stick behind SPW there, got the toe around the entire lap, and yes, Senna dropped it out of the first corner. I think his back wheel went as well. So, interesting one.
So on board with Nelly, he maybe doesn't look as comfortable as we know him at the moment. We don't know how much running he's done prior to this. Of course, this could be him just settling his eye in, but he's just seemed a couple of corners. He's been a bit hesitant on throttling, a bit twitchy.
Yeah, he's going to be a 44 here. That was not what Nelly wanted. He is not at the best start to qualifying.
I think Officer Duffy's going to go in a 43.6 as well on his medium compound, so
jumps ahead of Mad G just there.
It is Dr. Special Energy. He's invalidated, I think. I think Mikey's one of our only men on a lap, so stay with him. Mitch, sorry, Jensen.
Mitch 53.5. P9, I think he's just going to
Old Mitch, that's a driver I wanted to mention. Yes, he's probably gone for thing. We have not seen Mitch on an HOR, OTL, WRL. We've not seen him on the board for a long time, and it's good to see him back there.
Yeah, I think it's been how many seasons now, Chris? I think it's been
too many.
Almost a whole year. It's been basically a year since Mitch has been on the track. I think he might have done a bit of OTL, but in season 1.
My resident Wednesday evening partner for WRL in the comms box, resident South African now on track. So chat, you've got to support him inside as much as outside. Senna Martin says, I am stupid. Senna's went full Charles Leclerc.
Oh.
Did you drop it out turn 1, Senna? Mikey went in P2, 42.9. I missed that. F. Lewis is slotted in a 42.9 as well. Look at the Red Bulls. Practically identical lap times. 4/1000ths of a second separate them. So if that stays like that, they're in for a bit of a battle. Let's go to Pedro out on his soft run.
Both matched in the final sector, and Mikey a bit quicker in sector 1, but F. Lewis a bit quicker in sector 2. So they're definitely a bit of time, I reckon, for them to find. I want to see a 41 tonight, hopefully get to see that. Here comes Mitch starting another run.
I think Pedro's one of our only guys on a fast lap as well. 29.9 for the first sector, so reasonable enough for Pedro.
Here comes Mike as well. Mike flying upper rouge. Try and hit as much the inside curve as possible there. You don't want to lose time by going wide there.
Small oversteer correction for Pedro as he heads towards Puon. Do not touch the curb. Clits Apex nicely, uses his outside curb. It's a very nice line. He's going to choose to stay to the inside. Pick his braking zone. I think that's about as much of that curb as you want to use on the inside as well there. Oh, that inside curb again. Thought about snapping the car in, but not quite.
Oh, have you seen the skies, Chris? It's getting a bit darker now.
It certainly seems like the conditions are changing. Will we see it? Is this why we're seeing guys out so quickly?
Medium tyres as well. This could be interesting.
And that's the thing, as the temperature drops, They think the mediums will drop out their best window. So what's Pedro
Here
going to
comes
put in the board? I
Pedro.
think he's going to be in the 43s, 43-4,
He is.
P6. Ahead of his teammate, seems to be the way for the Haas. And right behind our
Here comes
championship
Mike.
leader, Nelly. Where
Mike
is
on a
Mike?
very good run. Mike looking for a low 41 here, I think, with this lap. And he needs to get the final corner nicely, and he gets a cracking lap. 41.2.
1.5 second difference at the top of the timesheets.
He says, take that.
Yes,
To
that is a
driving, sir.
statement of intent for sure from young Michael. So I think is Ranger on a lap. Let's see.
Pedro on the gravel. I think he might have lost it going through there. That time is gone. But here comes SPW as well, so he set that time on the mediums.
Oh yeah.
What he could do on the softs.
I think most drivers now got a set of softs bolted to the car, Jensen. I don't think any. And is that an off? Did I see an off there behind? Oh no, I think it was
that's
maybe
a
just
Haas.
Pedro.
I think that's Pedro. Yeah, he's had a few
Staying
offs.
well out of the way, I think. Just maybe the faster traffic. Ranger
So
looks to be on a
SPW.
solid run here as well, Jensen. I think Ranger's going to launch himself right up towards that top 5.
SPW flying through that section there. He could be a real threat to Mike here. There's Mitch. I think he will pull to the side after this. He does. Does not get much in SPW's way as he flies down to pull on. Touches the inside.
And Ranger
curve,
does.
Anthony,
Ranger goes
cars.
P2, 42.6 for Ranger. Gets
Oh,
himself
no.
into P2 if we had an incident.
SPW has been fully blocked there through pull on Maggi right in the middle of the racing line. I think another car ahead, the Mercedes of Kristaps, may have contributed to that. I don't know. Both of them are very close.
I think
But that has
SPW
ruined
just
it.
backed off the lap. Yeah, ouch.
Yeah, that
And
is-
we know SPW will not be happy, Bunny, but F. Lewis, couple of tenths up on his lap. As he comes into Puyon, carries a lot of speed, stays in 8th gear. Choosing not to downshift, just a small lift.
Yeah, SPW in the pits. So I think it's getting back brighter again now. So it went overcast, now it's getting brighter again. I don't know what's happening.
We
with
could
the
be
weather
set
here.
for a very interesting race. F. Lewis now half
He's
a
on for
second
P2.
up. Yep. And I
So
assume
net
he will
P2 at
find some more time in the last. Well, you see a couple of corners. Really, it's only 2 corners, but flat
Yeah,
out
I think
corners
you'll
and
have
F1
one-
cars are silly. Sorry, Jensen.
You have one more run after this as well. So he's trying to get the maximum free he can. So he goes through the final
It's
corner.
a really good X out the last.
Decent lap.
42-1.
42-1. Within a second of Mike. Mike just a bit ahead of everyone here.
Matterman does a 42-3, goes a bit closer in P3. Sorry to jump in on you there, Jensen.
Surge jumps up to P3.
Nelly,
His
let's
lap of
stay with
42.3.
your championship leader Nelly, who is out on the softs on a hot lap as we speak. We'll go on board with him to see is 2 tenths up the first sector. It's probably not the sector where you're going to gain most of the time on the soft. This is where the lap time's really going to be pushed towards you as you get into the guts of the lap. So we'll see. Looks a lot more confident in the car now, does Nelly. Seems to be really pushing round the corners. So I think that first one is maybe just getting his eye in.
He's really giving it some here. Doesn't take too much to the curb there. It's an easy curve to oversteer on there. So coming out here and
1.3 seconds up, so he's looking to go into the high 41s. Needs another about half a second on Mike though, I think.
Yeah, he's 3.5 tenths down on Mike through sector 2 now. So he needs decent final sectors to be close at least for this run. I think Nelly is going to be on the edge of having another run or not, if he can get back to the pits or not. But I think it's either that might be his final lap he can put in.
And I think looking at that, if F. Lewis is feeling good there, Jensen, F. Lewis sees that and he says, I'm only 4 tenths, 3.5 tenths behind Evanelli, I can maybe have a go this front row here. Can Mike drop into the 40s? That is the question. I think Mike's looking very comfortable to take pole, Jensen. I think it's just the question of how fast will he go.
Yeah. I'm sure Mike wants to try and take a pick of a 40.9.
Yes, do it, Mike.
If he does that.
Send it. Maggie says, when a car purposely stays behind you for the entire outlap. Yeah, it is infuriating, but it's part of F1, man. As you come to a track like this, people want the toll.
So
some people
final runs now.
Oh. So they would need to leave now. Mikey is just opening, so he's going to be our first man, I think, to open that final run. So I don't think Nelly gets another run here, Jensen.
That's nearly done, I think. He has 3 minutes to get around Blanchimont, bust up chicane in the pits, in, refuel, new tyres, out again.
It's a big ask.
You have to be out with about 1 minute 40 seconds maximum. Or minimum, I mean. So he has to be in and out within the next minute. If he does not, chance is gone. But it could be close. He could still probably do it, but I mean, it's got to be interesting. I don't know if he will or not. It's going to be a story. But Mike is out on the outlap now, leaving it late to come out. Same with basically everyone. It's everyone coming out of the pits, and yeah.
So, how much gamesmanship do we see in the end tails? A lot of drivers very close, Jensen, that a little toe and a tenth up that main straight. Maybe find you a couple of positions. Will we see some gamesmanship? People trying to just stay behind one another when it comes to this ending lap.
SPW is one who probably want to gain here.
Mike a couple of tenths up. Set 2 sectors in, he's just coming down towards bus stop. Jensen, I think Mikey could threaten the top 5 here. Where does he put himself on the board? Very nice through bus stop. DRS open a bit late there, maybe cost him a tenth. He only goes P7, 42.6. Ranger on his outlap, so there'll be time to find.
Dr. Special Energy, a 42.9. He goes P10. So
who is our lead outlap car now? I think F. Lewis maybe our lead man, followed closely by a McLaren.
So Nelly has just got out. I think he's got out too late. He has. So Nelly is out of qualifying then, unless the time is glitched, because sometimes be a bit shorter for us in the comms box, and the actual time for the guys, I don't know.
So F. Lewis, Jensen, 2 tenths up in sector 1. Sector 1's not usually a place where you find a lot of time, yep, so he's if he can find more time than that through the middle sectors, he could be really putting a threat on Nelly here. Nelly's pushing on, trying to get through, but he's not going to make that, I don't think.
Mike, 1.5 tenths up in sector 1. That was a very good sector 1. A big moment oversteer corrects it. He's invalidated, and he's weaving about there, but I think the pole is already secure anyway, unless F. Lewis can threaten it. He is on the limit here. He's using much of the curve.
And he's invalidated.
He's 6 steps up as well.
Oh, and the car's gone.
Oh god, no! Huge crash. Oh, that is unfortunate for F. Lewis there.
Who is our next driver, Jensen? I'm trying to check the
SPW, I think.
leaderboard.
Actually, it might be Ranger. No.
I think it is SPW. Oh, Renault, Dr. Special, no, he's invalidated yet, so it is SPW, I think, who's coming down to bus stop chicane now. Where can he put himself? I don't know if he's up in his time. He's going to commit to the lap, so I think he's got something in it. Can he get himself close to that top 5? He goes P2!
By 100th of a second. That's crucial for SPW there. He puts himself P2, and that's probably the best position.
But watch Matoman 4.5 tenths up his split same. Matoman could be looking to threaten that front row of the grid as well here, Jensen. I think some guys still have time. We've got Surge not far behind on a lap as well. So there could be all change in the first couple of rows. Matoman entering bus stop chicane. Can he find the time he needs through the last couple of corners to get himself up there? Come on, what you got, Matoman? To the line he goes. He goes P4. Second row. Surge through the last corner as well. He's a couple of tenths up as well. Can Surge improve? He goes P5.
He just ahead of F. Lewis as well by 2 thousandths. That was crucial laps for the guys at the end of quali there.
SPW P2?
Yeah, that was crazy into qualifying. That SPW got it pretty much nailed down there.
So Mike gets the pole, SPW P2, Nelly 3rd, Matoman 4, Surge 5th, F. Lewis 6, Ranger 7, Officer Duffy 8, Sebo 9, and Mikey rounds out the top 10. Dr. Special Energy P11, Kristaps 12, Pedro 13, Maggi 14, Mitch P15, and Mr. Rage and Senna. Unfortunate retirements early on in the session, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys catch up in the race, Jensen. But
yeah,
that was a good ending to qualifying. Kind of.
It's the usual end to qualifying, is it? Everyone putting in those laps right at the end when it counts as well, and they all delivered very well at the end of that. And what's really crucial for Mike at the moment, because he's got a half a second gap on that pole position spot. As long as he holds it out in front on lap 1, he should be okay to pull away, but we'll have to see as the race progresses.
So hopefully no restart on the 5-minute break. I'm going to jump now and grab the restroom, Jensen, so I will be back.
No problem. So we've got the dry weather here again, but we did see some guys on the medium tyres at the start of qualifying, so maybe it could rain. We'll keep it in question anyway.
Oh, well, how I'd love to see some sprinkles, just to spice it up for our side. I know the drivers, some drivers probably don't want any rain and will probably hate me saying that, but from a spectator standpoint, we would like some rain, for sure.
Ruined your final lap. Mike, you still got pole though. There's nothing to really be disappointed about that, unless the tyres on that lap you decided to wreck or something after, but I mean, surely you wouldn't do that.
No.
But
well, fingers crossed you wouldn't.
Yeah,
we need to be a bit silly.
Be dumb. Yeah.
So Jensen, let's have our nominated drivers for today's podium. What is your pick?
I am going to go for Mike. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Mike, SPW, and F. Lewis. My top 3.
Interesting call.
So I'm going to keep with my top 2, but I think F. Lewis, bit unlucky he couldn't show that pace because he was on for that P2. Bit like Bahrain, he would have got P2, but he sort of got screwed over a little bit there.
I'm going all out there. I'm sending a bold one. I'm going to go for Mr. Rage, Officer Duffy, and Kristaps V for the podium.
We're going very different there.
How this
All the
happens,
guys
I
that
don't
like-
know, but we're going to go for it.
If that does happen,
I'll put your lottery numbers on next week.
yeah.
But nobody else's,
I mean-
especially that SPW, never making him rich. He just insults me.
I mean, if there was betting for OTL, the odds would be so, like, it wouldn't be that low, to be honest, because
I'd have
anything
made some
happens.
good money there. Well, in OTL, that's true.
You would
Anything
have
does
made
happen.
much of the Finnish man who fucking made like 35 grand from the Gasly Sainz Stroll podium in Monza.
That's right. That's right.
Bet 25 cents and he won 30,000 euros, I think. Honestly,
I
mental,
wish.
man.
I wish. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense at
so-
all.
If the laps are long, it will feel long. If the laps are short, even Monaco is the most amount of laps. It feels like a quick race, really.
Yep.
Coming to the end of it. Sometimes stuff like that can be shortened. Chris, do you see at the bottom left-hand side of the screen? It's just a floating head. Does that mean not?
Yeah, sort of thing. Yes,
This is code masters.
is his head like sticking out of a white box?
It's just floating.
I think it's a crouched down gentleman behind something.
Or is it a
No.
giant watering can or something? And he's
Crouched, I don't know.
yeah.
It does not look
I
very
don't
good.
know.
So that is our
Trying to think
timer.
of stuff.
No, restart
That
tonight,
is-
Jensen.
Yes.
Way.
Good bit of entertainment purposes of Codemasters, bugs and glitches of this game. Probably the most buggiest game for a while. Let's just say that.
And I think we're set for 22 laps of drama and all the bugness.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
formation lap time.
think-
Outside the top
Yep.
10, but interesting to see the strats. So let's go to
tyres.
tyres.
So only Chris Staps on the outside of the top 10 starting as softs. Everyone else in the outside top 10 starting mediums.
So
So
nobody trying the hard tyre. Interesting.
I mean, I think people might be expecting a safety car anyway.
This is true. Or are they not expecting to get to the end of the race? Are they
don't
not
know.
expecting to have to go too deep because of the weather? Interesting
Maybe. I
stuff.
don't know.
Who knows?
Well, Chris, I think one yesterday actually, it was around Spa. I think, yeah, lap one safety car really shapes it up. The strategies are very interesting because yesterday I think in my race, a few people pitted for the hard compound tyre to go to the end of the race, and the driver did win in the end. I think I stayed out on like mediums and went to softs and lost out a load of time because of that. So
Interesting.
strategies, safety car strategies.
Pedro
are really
disqualified from the session with
interesting.
Kristaps V.
both actually
Uh-oh.
no. Am I saying both Mercedes? I mean the one Mercedes and Haas, the Haas driver that shouldn't be named. As of
I
last
agree.
week.
Yeah. Yes. Chat, you know what we're talking about as well. Pedro blowing his top 5 opportunity. Silly boy.
So we're gonna see
Who's lights out,
Mike.
Jensen?
It is yours
Is
tonight,
it
Chris. Yeah, we're on the even numbers again.
Oh, yeah. I'm Mr. Even, you're Mr. Odd. I guess it suits your personality. It suits a lot of the OTL drivers' personalities as well. I'm just kidding.
It's
They're
all
good guys. They're all good guys.
It could be good to have a odd
Sergeant
personality,
Mato,
you
man,
know?
disqualified from the
Oh
session now
my
as well.
God.
4 drivers down. In the form lap, that
Drivers,
is not good.
Yeah, a lot of people getting close to each other.
Sign of things to come. Uh-oh.
So don't expect SPW to be light on Mike here. He
No.
always
Full attack.
send these last few races, and he's on the racing line for this start. And Chris, take it away.
Yes, so let's see our last man, Mr. Senna, file up onto the grid. That he does now. We'll go back to the front and we will watch and wait for OTL Season 2 Round 10 Spa's lights to come on. And here we go, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go, and I think it's a reasonable start for the two guys up front, but Envinelli's, oh, he's ended up in the grass there. I don't know if he's picked up damage. I think he's pulled out to go and overtake Michael on the inside line, and on my screen it looks like he's ended up in the grass and at the wall. So Mike leads SPW, Nelly drops back a bit in P3, our two racing point boys, Surge and Ranger, racing closely behind, and my timing screens is having their usual trip up, Jensen. I don't know if you've seen anything happen further back.
SPW's getting close. He's not going to get close enough for a move. It looks like he's going to stay behind there. But yeah, Nelly having a very, very winded restart, or winded race start, I mean there. Hitting the wall, like you said. I don't know if he picked up damage or not. But F. Lewis getting a move done on Ranger going through turns 6 and 7. And he has gone and made it stick there. He's up to P5 now. I think the grid is now all filtered out.
So let's see our position gainers from the start. Surge, Evlewis, Rangers, Matoman down 3. Mikey lost a position. Dr. Special Energy down 3. Pedro down 3. Mitch lost a couple. Senna Martin's up 5. He's went from the back of the grid up to P12. He's threatening that top 10 position already. But look at the guy. Oh, there's a big moment for Surge. He's dropped the back of the car, Jensen. I think he's in the wall, and that could be a safety car.
Oh, he's nice. Hasn't picked up damage. I think he might have just kept out the wall. They're going too wide through Stavolo there. There's a little contact. And and
there is a big melee here between Mad G, Mikey, Senna Martins on Mad G, Dr. Special Energy, Mr. Rage, Surge. Look at this. Pedro all involved. Guys, absolutely nose to tail. Dr. Special Energy maybe looking for a send on Mad G on the inside line. Not quite close enough.
Nothing to Ranger there. Ranger, he's picked up damage.
Is he in the pits? And Magi's in the pits as well. Mikey in the pits. Got a lot of drivers filing into the pits. Some carrying on. Pedro now gets himself up to P11 with 8 guys. P7 now for Pedro.
So is that these guys might have picked up damage then? No, I don't think it is. I think they...
No, yeah, it's a glitch. SPW is still racing on track in P2, so for some reason SPW is in P2, but in my leaderboard is shown P10. That is certainly not the case.
Oh, there we go. It's doing this again.
So it should catch itself up just shortly.
So there we go. Mitch leading the race, and it's come that down to people. Oh,
so I've got Mad G leading. The game is so broken. So Mitch leads. He's got just over a half-second gap to SPW. SPW just close to breaking that DRS gap to Nelly, and that could be critical to SPW's race. If he can break that gap but stay with Mike, it could be enough to pull him away from Nelly. So that's one to keep an eye on as the race plays out over the next few laps. F. Lewis been absolutely hounded now by Matoman. I don't know if F. Lewis has got any damage on the car. He appears not to, Jensen.
Mike's getting the gap. Mike is getting the gap just... But SPW using the energy here down the straight. I need to quickly see the telemetry. He's got 67%. Mike is on 85%, but he should have really used a bit there, because now SPW will have that DRS. These are big moments out of the exits now. So, and Nelly's not had the best run out of the final corner as well. So.
Oh, Envy's out. Is he dropped? Is Nelly dropped out the DRS? That's it. The top two may start to break away now, Jensen. In this is what we're literally talking about. It could be, that could be massive for Nelly's race. He's either needs to spend a lot of energy here and try and stay with them, or he's just got to accept that they're going to go and hope the race comes to him a bit later.
Now there's a yellow flag. Is that?
Oh, somebody out.
He's lost it at Eau Rouge.
So all the wing gone. He's got most of his wing missing on the right hand side. I need to be careful as Mitch comes through on the inside. Mitch now up to P12. Running a good little race on his return.
Yeah, look at the battle for P14 as well. Magi, Mikey and Surge all battling position. Surge over the back of the Red Bull going up Eau Rouge. Is he looking for a move? Mikey using absolutely everything as well. They're both catching up to Magi. What's going to happen here? I think they're all going to have to stay where they are for now. But look at Surge, he's going to go for a move into turn 8 and a little bit of wheel banging, but I think Surge has just got past into turn 8.
That's a fair move, that. I think small wheel bang, but I don't see nothing much in that. It's a good move. Surge moves on. And Nelly's got himself back inside that DRS zone, I think, Jensen. So let me just check. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
if you remember, the Nelly's back in the zone. So
look at the gap though. 9 temps again. Mike might be able to break the DRS here. I think Mike has to give some energy here to help that, but nah, SPW's in it, and Nelly is also in it as well. So, oh, did Nelly dropped out a second for a split second there? Did he get the DRS?
I think he did. Yeah, he still got it.
He is good. So this is a top 3 battle. I think that's going to last the entire race.
Look at this, Officer Duffy, F. Lewis and Sebo here. I think Officer Duffy's going to have a run at F. Lewis to get himself into P4. Officer Duffy, need to be careful at Sebo behind on DRS as well, but not quite that time on the straight. But Officer Duffy now up to P5. I think he's maybe running a better race than he first expected. Shows a little chink there just to keep F. Lewis occupied, and that made F. Lewis run a little wide there. Officer Duffy thinks about the run up, but not quite that time around. I think that battle will continue till they get to the DRS zone again. Let's go back to this battle between Magi, Mikey and Surge, because it's still going on up this main straight, Jensen.
Yeah, this is big. There goes Magi. He's getting closer and closer.
So this becomes a problem at Spa, doesn't it, Jensen? It becomes a bit of a train, and becomes hard really to get overtakes done once the DRS train starts to form. We've got a front 3 in a train, and then kind of the mid-pack starting to all come back together. As you can see from F. Lewis back, if you look at the map, it's practically a train from F. Lewis to Pedro. Surge with a time penalty for the back on the grid. That's not going to do any favours. Let's go back on board with our lead guys as they go back through the first DRS zone. Nelly looking probably the closest he's been for the first few laps of the race, so setting the fastest lap as well.
Yeah, look at Mike, 100% energy, he ain't using anything. So is SPW, though, he ain't using much, but he's used a bit more than the 2 cars that are surrounding him. I think there's a 10% difference between each guy. Mike 10% of Nelly, Nelly 10% of SPW at the moment. And they're all using nothing down the straight, they're all just, I think, just helping each other all secure these positions. That's right.
I think we've got to say as well, Jensen, SPW, no, nobody is a stranger to the style of driver SPW is. He likes an elbows out, he likes a good hard racing battle, which is fine. Not each driver to their own. I am not against that, but this season he's really starting to command himself as a front running driver. I think he's shown that he always felt like he was never in the fight, but he's shown for the last couple of weeks now that he can sit in this front pack and race with these guys lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, I think he's shown that in Zandvoort as well, in WRL, especially with the strategy he played there, and then he got to fight with all the top guys there.
He's definitely becoming a very complete driver, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's all about progress. I think properly. I think this is his first F1 game he's committed to league racing. So this is
maybe next game he's going to be a very, very dangerous asset.
Yeah, hopefully not in both ways. You know
Officer
what I mean,
Duffy now the head of this train. Jensen.
Yeah, he got past F. Lewis, but F. Lewis is going to try and come back, I think.
And I will say most drivers doing a pretty good job of the ERS management at the moment. I think any day roundabout or above the 50% mark still is doing okay. F-Flu's starting to dip below 30%, that might hurt him a bit.
SPW's out of the DRS of Mike. That is huge, and Mike didn't have to use much as well. He's still high up on that. So SPW is now struggling to keep with the leader here.
So will we see SPW go for the undercut?
I'd probably say he might do, and Mitch picks up a penalty.
I think if SPW comes in the pits, he slots into that gap behind Pedro but in front of Mitch. I think he's safely in that big pocket of clean air, and if he comes out closer to Mitch, he's got a lot of clean track to drive into to really try and work the undercut. So I think if SPW or Nelly want to try it, now is probably the time to utilise that big gap in the traffic.
Yeah, but remember the tyres as well, you'll have to be saving those mediums. And there's the yellow flag. Is that the leaning corner? I think that's Maji.
Maji?
Oh, it might be Mitch actually. Yeah, Mitch lost out a few places there. I think he might have let them for, I don't know what's happened. There's a virtual safety car and
Sebo is out. Oh, he's dropped it out.
Shimon.
Yep. So that's probably the first cub to pick. I think that's been the inside cub. So he did say cubs would claim victims, Jensen, and I think that is our first man away. Pedro's going to jump on that VSC to box, but what tyre?
Guys in front.
Is Pedro going to a hard?
Missed the opportunity.
Is Pedro going to go to hard? Hard tyre to the end here works.
Yeah, he's got to, surely. If he goes for a two-stop here, that's not going to work at all. It's just going to...
Oh, and he's going to the softs. No, Pedro. Pedro, no. The hard tyre. No.
Oh, it's become a bit funny, really. What Pedro's been doing, these strategies, and... Oh. There we go.
So Ranger gets first time penalty. Sorry, Jensen.
The guys out front, they're a bit unlucky they missed that VSC opportunity to pit. But now Mike's got the gap here. Mike is looking decent. He could extend the tyres another lap if he wanted to, if the guys pitted for him like one lap earlier. And he's on 100% energy again.
Yes, coasting. SPW's in a really good position with the ERS as well, though. I think he's using it tactically at the moment, getting himself out the corners well. But when is earliest you would box if you're going to the mediums, Jensen? Lap 9?
Earliest to box would be this lap, I'd say. But
so will SPW go? Not this lap around. Envinelli's going to close right up. It's all about the exit now. I'd say the start. Sorry.
Optimum is this lap now, I'd say.
So lap 8 on to 9.
I'd say latest is lap 9 really for a stop. Earliest lap 7, optimum lap 8. And look at SPW's using all the energy. He's lost it at the back end. Through O'Roos, he's caught it, but that's cost him. That will be a position that SPW defending the inside line. Nelly goes around the outside, and that was a pretty easy overtake there for Nelly after he moved to the outside. But SPW, he's coming back here. He's going to go up the inside. No, he's not. He's going to try and force Nelly into an uncomfortable position here. But Nelly is through. SPW had a moment there.
Nice bit of racing between the guys after that as well. SPW rightfully defended one position. He never then pulled back over. Nelly pulled back across. He had to get out a little bit. I think fair racing.
I'll tell you what though, one driver that we haven't talked about this race so far who's really doing well is Senna at the moment. P4 on the mediums as he surges out, and that's...
Is that going to be a safety car?
6.
Safety car out!
Full safety car. The guys in front, guys in the lead have
jackpot
made this work. And
Pedro needs to get
Senna
off these softs now.
Poor Senna. That's not done him well at all.
I know, because if anything he probably... Oh, and Mikey gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's not going to help.
He has to serve that after the safety car comes in as well.
Pedro,
the
you
green
keep
flag,
your
yes,
delta
sir.
down, you'd get too many of these penalties under safety cars as well, so that of course, as you say, benefits Officer Duffy about to benefit nicely from that. Senna Martin chooses to pit. Is he going to try the softs to the end, Senna? Is he going to be bold? It'd be a big ask, he is, Jensen.
Oh, look at Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage stays out. He's going to take the lead of the race. He does, and he hasn't pitted yet. Has Mr. Rage.
And he
he
nearly
almost-
overtakes the safety car. Wow. Wow. That would have been
And
a
look at the Professional
disaster.
Energy SPW, very lucky there. He just came out ahead of the Renault. Got the
So
Special
Nelly Nelly did get the jump in SPW.
Senna's gone for softs.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
my
a big, bold strat call from Senna.
A lot of tyre savings needed for this.
So I think Pedro will go to the medium. Yeah.
He's got to hope the safety
I
car
possibly
lasts for a good few laps.
I possibly think that Pedro maybe been pooped on by his game. Oh, and Pedro just got out. Matoman had to yield the position. Oh, that is unlucky. It was very close.
I'd say this has worked out for Pedro.
Yeah, he P10.
He's on a brand new set of he was on mediums. The only way he could go to is the hards or softs in the pits. Went to softs.
I guess that, yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, it's allowed him to do the kind of medium stint. Yeah, he got off with one there.
Big talking points to be Senna on those softs though. Is he going to make it to the end of the race? I don't know. It's a big ask.
Oh, Jensen, apologies. My little bit of my headset had popped over. I do apologise.
right.
I did answer you there about Senna. I just missed it. So guys, welcome everybody that's watching. Please, if you haven't already, like the video while we're on this safety car. We'll get off of Pedro, go back to the leaders now.
You just done a full reset, Chris. your headset just pops off and it's like, oh, welcome.
I know.
Yeah.
I just seen the numbers up in the chat, so yes, please guys, if you haven't, like the video. If you haven't already, of course, sub to the channel. The channel's live 3, possibly soon to be 4 times a week. The Racing Hub is where it's at when it comes to racing. Both Formula 1 and soon to be GT3. What's not to like? Somebody's car has a lawnmower glitch. Who is it? Not sure. I think it's a Red Bull. Oh, it's Nelly. Do you have the lawnmower glitch on Nelly's car, Jensen?
What, does it just sound like it's cutting grass?
Rev limiter just bouncing all the time.
Oh, no.
I do. So, set to be another very good scoring day for these Alfa Romeo boys, Jensen.
Yes.
Mr. Rage can get a gap. I mean, who would we say Mr. Rage is racing right now? Probably Officer Doofy, Chris Taps the like, so it depends how much he can pull away. I think this could be not the best call, but we never know.
Well, this could do wonders for Mike as well. This could really separate them. If if team orders come into play there, Mike goes through, and then that could be interesting.
I think safety car should go in this lap. Senna will probably have his fingers crossed that it goes for one more, but the pack's been together now for quite a while, so I don't see us going much further.
So I think the safety car, yeah, will be in this lap. Everyone's bunched up. So let's see what happens, Chris.
So it is in this lap.
12 laps for those softs. Senna, and 12 laps of those softs for Mikey. And that, if there's another safety car, it's going to be a saving grace for them. In my opinion, because I don't think they're going to last. If they do last, well done to them. But
Mr. Rage is maybe hoping there's a safety car during the restart as well, because that would give him a jackpot strat.
Remember Chris as well, the drive through for Mikey. That's going to put him so far down.
Oh yeah.
The running order here.
So when will Mr. Rage go? A tricky circuit for the restart, because you kind of either need to go pre-bus stop chicane, because if you go out bus stop chicane it's very easy to read. You know, if you go into bus stop chicane at normal pace, the guys know that we're pretty much going to be racing out the corner. But Mr. Rage does a very good job in his warm medium tyre about getting the power down there, so he breaks away.
Yeah, he's got to watch about Nelly. SPW. Actually, no, don't worry. I'm getting really confused. He had a big moment actually out of turn 1.
So
I don't think he's to be under threat though. But Nelly's gonna be pushing at Mike.
Yeah, I think Mike's dropped off his teammate a little bit here. I think he was hoping Pedro picks up his first time penalty of the race, but Nelly's coming here. He's got a lot of straight line speed in this car. Mike's going to defend the line. Nelly will have to look to the inside if he wants it. Not quite there this time. Excuse the bounce and rev limiter there, guys. Oh.
But Mr. Rage just having a brilliant restart.
Yeah, considering he's on the more worn tyre, I think that's best case scenario for him playing out right now. Senna Martin's it's Officer Duffy picking up another penalty of his race. Senna, it's an interesting one for Senna in these softs. He wants to make track position from it, but I don't think he's going to want to push too hard. As he sends one on the inside, the Dr. Special Energy inside to outside, and then he'll get the inside line again, and I think that'll be job done. Good move there for Senna Martins.
Update on the Cebu retirement. I think Cebu, he thought that...
and Officer Duffy out! No, it's Officer Duffy, Chris, that was V. He gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Officer Duffy.
Yeah, I got the names wrong there. Oh, and that's not done well for Mikey.
Safety car out again, Mr. Rage! Mr. Rage, safety car out!
Mr. Rage! Oh, that is perfect for him. Oh, this is... what I was saying there, Chris, Cebu's retirement, he thought that Mr. Rage might have hit him in the rear, or he lost it by himself. But I don't know.
Oh, so maybe one for the stewards to watch.
Yeah,
but look, after this call and the bad calls, young Pedro in P7. Mikey's still got that drive through it. Everybody behind got time penalties. Pedro, our best of our 2-stop runners so far.
Look at Senna though. Senna is on those 2-lap-old softs, and the safety car is just helping him so much here now. Senna could be on
for the
really
win.
Good.
Question mark? Dun dun dun. Pedro up 6, Senna up 13. Of course, Senna's our biggest gainer of the race.
I would call him my pick for the win if he does get through these guys quickly. But if he can't get through
drive
these guys,
of the day performance as well, Jensen. Oh, get off the lawnmower glitch. I'll go to the onboard version.
Winning from the back, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Adam, what happened there? Please in chat if you don't mind. Was that contact, like an incident, or driving really well there, mate?
Yeah, I was really disappointing for Adam that. That was a very, very good performance from him before that.
Yeah, that is a gutter. You seem to be having fun as well. I think that's the worst of it. So Mike all over the back of that safety car. He's hustling. He's telling Mr. Langer to move his hole.
Oh. And Cebu is left. Yeah. He retired anyway, so...
So one extra lap of racing after this, I would think. Extra lap of safety car, as we never got the sign to say it's coming in.
This is gonna be a really interesting one. We've had 3 safety cars, so 2 more still come out from this, and Senna and F. Lewis.
Tell you, it could be a spicy battle here. Jensen is SPW and Senna Martins.
Yes. If Senna gets the tyres warmed up, that would be a winner for him there. But this is going to be interesting because I think it's going to be hard for Senna because SPW is going to be all on attacking Nelly and Mike, of course, as he always does. So it's not going to be easy for us.
Yeah, of course, of course. Adam says Kristaps lost it. He's tried to avoid it. He couldn't, and he hit Collecti. So not so much Kristaps doing anything wrong. He's just had a moment, and you've wrong place, wrong time, Adam. That is a gutter, mate. A gutter, absolute gutter. But we move on. Comsbox will be glad to have you on Wednesday, don't worry. I'm messing, mate, I'm messing.
I think we got Tim from Box on Wednesday.
Yes. Which you are going to want to listen to. He's even better than me and Jensen.
Yeah.
We suck.
By a good country mile, that.
Nothing to report. He lost it. Nothing he could do. Gutted, Adam. Gutted. So I think safety car, we're going to get the notification in any moment now that it will go in this lap. It's usually about the end of sector 2 marker. So it'll probably pop up on the screen now. There it goes. So safety car in this lap to give us 10 laps of racing.
Dr. Special Energy, 5-second penalty for collision with Rage.
Oh. So I wonder if that's just one of these silly ones that probably be removed. Yeah, Adam, it looked a fun one in your bath. I think you were driving really well. So let's see, let's stay with Mike. See when he chooses to do this.
Is he going to Verstappen or is he going to go early? Let's see what he does. I'll be on board with him for you, Chris. See.
So I think he's going to go.
Oh, he's going to go now.
So Mike is away on the restart. It seems a reasonable gap between him and Vinelli. Did struggle about the last corner, but I think in the end he got the pebble down. Nelly seems to have the car fire back up in a bit better manner, though he got really good X out of the first hairpin, and I think he's going to push on here. Mike could be in trouble. He's going to need to defend with all his might if he wants to keep this win. Here comes Nelly in the toe. He's going to go to the inside line. So maybe Mike's choosing to fight another day, and on ERS on now. He's going to defend that inside line. He chucks it in deep. Nelly's going to have to yield.
Yeah.
Very close, but good racing between the two. All the while SPW says, you know what, I might come up and have a little sniff at this as well. Is there any racing for me?
Matoman gets past F. Lewis through turn 7.
Look at Pedro on his medium. Really hassling. Pedro looking to get inside himself, inside that top 6. He's got that time penalty, but he is the leader of the time pen guys, so he just needs to stay there and he won't lose anything. Yellow flag sector. Oh, Senna Martins! I think he's touched the curb that we spoke about, Jensen, pre-race through Bonchimon.
Look at Pedro and Ranger. Pedro and Ranger make contact. Ranger gets through though.
Oh, Ranger's round and he's going to click Pedro, and what happens here? Oh, it's a big melee, Jensen. There's about 4 cars being collected up, and there's more contact ahead. Oh my god, what is going on? Mikey pulls to the inside. We're going to get Mr. Rage going through, but he's got wing damage. Senna Martin's trying as well. We've got Kristaps Maggi pulls to the inside line. There's guys everywhere.
4 wide going up to
There's so many cars. Please don't have a crash, boys. Keep it clean. 2 wide. Mr. Rage stays on the inside line. No end place on the car. He had to yield.
Senna coming back out of that. Senna managed to get back through all of them. What a brilliant recovery from Senna there. A bit unfortunate with the spin, but wow.
Well, that got
was
me a bit
crazy.
dizzy.
3 cars in the pits. Mikey, Mr. Rage and Pedro. Mitch is harrying Ranger now for P10. What a top 10 finish that would be for Mitch, if he could get that.
No, on you go, Mitch.
Here he goes. Ranger using all his energy as well.
Mitch on the softs as well, so send one, Mitch. Are you thinking about it? Not quite there. P11, no, he's going to have a nice gap. Senna Martin's now out. Is that going to be a safety car?
Oh no, and that's another safety car.
A safety car out.
A 4th safety car, a 3rd full safety car. A 4th safety car of any sort to come out today. And, oh, that's just called a safety car driver of the day now.
So,
but Mylander's been leading most of these laps.
Interesting scenario now, Jensen. What's more critical, track position or tyre?
Track position.
I would say track position. Do they choose to box for the softs though?
Nah. I don't think so really, unless you want to try something different and you think you can't get through. Look at the McLarens though. 3rd and 4th, brilliant job by both of them.
Mitch gets his first time penalty of the race. No, Mitch.
Oh no!
Oh, and he gets a drive-through as well.
Oh no! Mike stays out, Nelly stays out, SPW stays out, Mataman, he takes the risk, goes into the pits, so with F. Lewis. Dr. Special, he stays out, Maggi in the pits. Ranger, he's eager to stay out? Yes he is. Mitch's gonna stay out. Mikey, of course, just as off his pit stop.
Mitch is about to be in P7. Let's go, Mitch.
What a drive from Mitch at the moment. It's unfortunate that drive-through, but still.
Oh yeah, he got the drive-through. No.
Oh, what's happened to Mitch there?
5-second
really
time
slowed
penalty
down,
between Pedro and Mr. Rage.
Matamani got a penalty. He got a penalty cutting a rouge on the safety car. What on earth happened there? Oh, that is unfortunate for Mataman there. On those softs though, can he recover all of that?
So Dr. Special Energy, young Jordan, a driver that's always threatened a really good finish. He's on a nice new soft, or only a couple of lap old soft, let's see.
Can he strike
3
another
laps
podium?
old, can he get there?
Yeah, he's got a 5-second penalty, but that's most likely going to be removed anyway. So,
yep.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Can Dr. Special Energy get through these guys? There could only be one more safety car to come out, and I think the safety car is going to go out, carry on for one more lap. So we're going to get racing on lap 18.
What is it with OTL giving us small lap sprints to the end and late safety cars? They do love themselves a safety car. And see, the thing is, the racing's been of good quality today. I don't think there's been anything too dangerous. Guys have just unfortunately caught curbs and people have been caught up in incidents. I've not seen anything dangerous at all from anybody. It's been a high quality race, just unfortunate circumstances for a few drivers. I don't know if you would agree, Mr. Jensen.
Yes, agree with what you said there. I was just looking at something different there, sorry. I didn't
That's alright.
pick up what you said.
I was just saying that we've not really seen anything that's been dangerous from any driver. I think people are just getting caught up and people are touching curbs and spinning round and people are getting caught up in that, which is nobody's any particular fault. I think the racing has been of good quality this evening.
So Dr. Special Energy is chasing his second OTL podium today.
Is this what you were checking? Mr. Rage
no.
gets another penalty for
Oh.
a severe collision with Mad G
Oh,
this
no.
time.
I wasn't checking that, I was checking my Discord for a second there, but yeah, Dr. Special Energy, I think his last podium was in the USA, where he battled with Nelly for the P2 position.
That's
that
right.
day.
We were willing
And-
him on to use the ERS.
And he, yeah, overtake the ERS, kept right there, and he still finished P3 that day, so he's got the soft, he's got a good chance for this. But he's got SPW in front of him. He's got the championship leader, multiple race winner this season, Nelly, in front of him, and you've got Mike, who's been dominating this race, in front of him. So it's not easy. This is not going to be easy for a Dr. Special Energy to go for this, but if he does, that would be truly.
Yeah, it's like having Lewis Hamilton,
crazy.
Sebastian Vettel, well, old Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso in front of you trying to win a race.
And Max Verstappen as
Oh, well, yeah, I
stick him
would.
there.
Nah, because I think SPW would rather be Alonso.
SP, yeah. Actually, yeah, don't worry. Got the three guys. What would you say? Who would you say? Who's Hamilton? Who's Vettel at the
I
front?
mean, Mike's going to want to be Vettel, so I better not give him Hamilton. So it'll be Nelly Hamilton. Mike is Vettel in his glory Ferrari days, and SPW and it being the stubborn Fernando that is Fernando in a McLaren. I think it fits
Yeah.
well.
07 McLaren.
So does Mike go for the same strategy? He's really let that safety car go this time, so could we see something a bit different? Interesting tactics to come. Out the last corner maybe didn't work as good as he would have liked to have. A small change of something there that could be fueling. I think he's away. Mike is now going, but Nelly's reacting
Yeah,
really
he's-
well to that.
Oh, Dr. Special Energy really late as well as SPW. Mike is on the threat here. He needs to get this right, and
Oh, Nelly
Nelly
has a
had a
moment
big
of
moment.
oversteer. Matt's going
That
to
does
check
not help
back
him.
for the run into turn one. And Mike, in regards
And-
to below P2, he's got an absolutely splendid restart list filter
Here
through
comes
the
Mitch.
guys.
serving his drive through right now, and thank God that he can serve it this lap, hopefully.
So,
yeah.
onto the main straight.
Mike is safe.
How much is Nelly
Mike
push? I
is
think he
very
is.
safe.
Up the second up the road is too much.
Both equal in energy as well. SPW under threat here. He's dropped back a lot, and he's got Dr. Special Energy for company behind him. Chris Daps as well. Really good performance. Your prediction almost come true with Chris Daps here.
Come on, Kristaps V,
But-
although he...
Oh,
no, he
big
served
moment.
his penalty as well, didn't he? 'Cause he did
Yeah,
get a
Dr.
penalty
Special Energy.
against Adam, but he must have served it in the pits.
Unfortunately, Rage, a few penalties to his name today, and of course Adam out of the race as well, so a bit unfortunate for those two, but Chris Daps could still salvage something for you.
Ah, Kristaps!
Yeah. At the moment, my P1 prediction's on, and my P2 is almost on with SPW and F. Lewis. A bit unfortunate with the hard tyres, but he's
Yeah.
coming up on these guys now. It's going to be a big battle here. Is he going to go for a move on Ranger up the inside? They're getting really close. And, he's trying to...
Close racing between the two of them,
Yeah.
inside and outside. Oh my god. I think F. Lewis
And
will
he's
get the
ahead.
job done. Wow, we got a good shot of that in the helicam now.
Yeah, F. Lewis
Hunt
looking
the
for
top
P6
five?
at the moment. He may get a top 5. He may even strike a top 4.
Could be a
He may
cracking
even strike a top
recovery.
3 even. If SPW there.
Oh, he needs to be careful
SPW.
touching the grass on the inside up through a rouge. You do not want to do that lap after lap, because one time it will bite you. So I think SPW is maybe just focusing on P3. I think he's maybe realised that at this stage of the race in the NL he's got a bit more pace, and he just needs to focus on keeping Dr. Special Energy behind. I don't know if he's heard on comms, he maybe knows now that the penalty will be lifted because it was under the safety car, he was hit, not his fault. So yeah, SPW needs to keep the defence. I think he'd be pretty happy with a podium. We look at Matoman and Kristaps now, he's going to pull to the inside line on his soft tyre, and through he goes. I think I've seen some wing damage further back there, I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on there. Kristaps out.
Oh, it's a safety car. Safety car out again. And oh my goodness, this is really crazy race. This is the final safety car that comes out.
Safety car, we're going to have a one lap shootout.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I think everyone's just going to stay out. Apart from Rage and Mitch, they might pit for another tyre. I wouldn't say Mitch should pit though. If he does pit, he might risk himself not being able to catch up to the guys. Because it's only going to be out for one lap, this safety car. It's going to come in this lap. As Mike crosses the line, lap 20, it's going to come in this lap.
Wow, what an interesting... Oh Mike, you need to be careful there, that safety car needs to get up to speed.
Pedro, Maggi and Mr. Rage in the pits. Mitch going for the pit stop. So, I
think these guys struggle to catch back up now. Pedro will get out in the lead. Oh, he's having to change wing, I think that's the issue. He's going to come out behind Maggi.
Nelly is going to have one more shot at this win. He's had 3 safety car restarts of opportunities to go for Mike. He's got close, really close one time round. I think the other 2 is a bit too far off. Mike very close to safety car. But Nelly, it is a really crucial opportunity for Nelly here to go for it. But we're gonna see. Can't wait for this. Mitch ahead of Ranger. No, not Ranger, Rage.
Oh yeah, maybe going to jump in the pit stop.
Yes, he did. I think Rage had a penalty served.
Ah, fair enough.
He's got another penalty he's yet to serve though.
So as Jensen said, safety car will come in this lap. We will have
2 laps of racing.
Lap 21 and 22 to get it done, and nothing more. Safety car will give us a shout or the nod just now, I think. And there is the call. Lights go out, away it goes. Mike takes over the pace of the pack.
He needs to get his tyres up
10 lap old mediums as well. It's
they ain't gonna be one. No chance of being anywhere
safety
close
car,
to one.
yeah, true.
Yeah, he could literally weave as much as he wants. Really, any bit of wear ain't gonna really hamper him too much.
They all are behind. Look, everybody wants a bit of it. Dr. Special Energy Matoman, they know this is a sprint to the finish. So when does Mike go? Same time as last time. Oh, and he's away. So he's went.
And he does not get the jump. Does not get the jump. Just like last time, but is Nelly gonna make the same mistake? Nelly through the final corner. He keeps close, and he stays close for this one.
So through they go. It's Mike from Nelly. Right. SPWP3 Dr. Special Energy.
A big moment. Mike had a big moment out of turn 1. They're going to be so close now, coming up over Rouge, here we go. And Mike going full send, he cannot risk anything here, and I think he's might be safe, but here comes Nelly. He's using all the energy here. Mike has to protect that inside line, he does. Nelly, he's going to go full send around the outside. He's going to try and outbrake himself around the outside, but he can't. Mike holds him off, puts the car in the right places there, and he keeps Nelly behind for that lap. And I think middle set to him, Mike should pull away. This is where he's been strongest.
So further back, Ranger trying to send one on the outside of Mikey, a very unorthodox place, and that's going to give the inside line to Maggi, or need the outside line, so you need to be careful if we get Mr. Rage and Pedro all absolutely stalking behind as well, so people looking to get moves done in these last couple of laps of the race. Maggi's going to run wide, Mr. Rage gets the run on the inside. Will he try and send it on the outside? He's thinking about it, he's trying to carry the speed he has, he's got it in the inside line. Maggi gets touched a bit, that'll allow Pedro to get a bit of run. Pedro pulls to the inside line, but not quite there yet. He had to snap oversteer and it just cost him. But look at Matoman all over the back of Dr. Special Energy, but he's about to be out of deployment. He's going to derate before the end of the lap. This will just absolutely kill any chance of him getting a move done. Look, he was gaining, and then the gap just stays exactly the same. Nearly now half a second behind Mike as they come through bus stop.
Oh, he's got a really good run. This is one more chance for Nelly. He's put himself within that chance again. He needs, as Nelly, I think last lap, he disabled his overtake through Eau Rouge, and I don't know if he might be too far away now. There goes Mike.
Be it, Jensen, as long as Mike keeps
Mike
it clean.
Full send. Mike is
we've
through.
got
Mike
Matoman in Dr. Special Energy who picks up his first penalty of the race. Matoman now pushing on. He's stuck right up in the top. But Dr. Special Energy's got great straight line speed in that car. So Matoman really struggling to get right up, tucked in behind to launch a pass at the top of the straight. And I think Mike has the gap, Jensen. He just needs to keep it clean, although he's went a little wide there. Tuck the car back up.
He hasn't got any warnings, he's good. Mike, clean race at the moment. He's just needs to hold on after this chaotic Spa race.
Yes, a wild one. Rangers get the wide line. Mr. Rage is going to come on the inside. Don't run that curve too much. There's contact and he's going to be round and he's out. Mr. Rage is out in the last lap of the race. He'll still be classified in P12, but that will be the end of his race. As that now promotes Pedro back to P10. He's all over the back of Mad G. Can he get a move done here? I don't think he is, but Mike comes up through Blanchimon for the last time up towards bus stop chicane. I think the gap is too much. Nelly not close enough to send one this time around.
1 seconds now.
And that's going to be it. Mike is going to take the checker flag for OTL round 10 and closes that gap just a little bit more to Nelly. He takes the win. Nelly P2.
Well.
Oh, an extra point. SPW takes P3. F. Lewis gets up to P4. P5 for Mikey. Ranger P6. Mataman 7. Dr. Special Energy P8. But he's got a penalty to come off, so that will obviously change.
P5 maybe.
But
P5
in the end, a very good day for the Red Bull boys, Jensen. P4 and 5. Mikey with the driver of the day from the game as well. And that's going to be a tough call from our side, Jensen. Who gets driver of the day?
That's going to be a hard one. I'm going to leave it to you.
That is a tough one. What could have been? I think Pedro holds a good shout for possibility of driver of the day tonight. I think he was definitely threatening a solid top 6, and then taken out of that was something that was way out of his control. But there's other drivers that did shine. Mikey with great gains. F. Lewis had a great race. Dr. Special Energy, I think he holds a good shout. 1 3-second time penalty in the end, that 5-second time penalty unwarranted, Jensen. So there's a few drivers to pick from. I think Dr. Special Energy is definitely one that springs to mind.
So Mike,
sorry to Adam.
I think Mike takes the Grand Chelem.
Yes, pole, fastest lap, and the win. So get the guys in for a chat.
Most of the race, I think, or the safety car led most of the race, but still didn't hold him much today.
So where is Nelly? Where is he?
I wish that Northern Irishman had a mic.
I know, it's a shame.
Interesting. It would be some interesting chats.
Give me 1 second, Jensen.
think that's the P2 man who's just joined. And there's Mike. Just wait for Chris to return.
I am here. Good evening, gentlemen. What way shall we go? Let's go P1 down for a little change. We usually go back to front. So let's start with young Michael. Mike, how do you feel? I think solid enough race. It was an interesting one. Safety cars came thick and fast. Probably neutralised a lot of the attacking we could have seen, but I think where possible people tried, but it's Spa and it's tricky. So all in all, I think you should be pretty happy. I think you controlled the race quite well from the front.
Yeah, definitely. I think the safety cars gave me a few heart attacks. Definitely need to go see the ER room after that one. But yeah, GG to everyone, and yeah, I don't really know what to say.
It's one of the races, wasn't it? I think Spa's a funny one because even from the kind of half a second mark, once you come out onto that top straight, without DRS, it's very, very, very hard to. You can get behind somebody, but beside into that turn at the top of the straight, it's just not enough. It's really hard to hold it on the outside line. You give the lead driver the inside. Like Nelly tried to go around your outside on the last lap there, but with you holding that inside line, you're able just to get on throttle earlier, and that just closes out Nelly's line, and it's just it becomes very tricky. So I think in that regards, you defended where you needed to defend, and yeah, I think the safety cars neutralised a lot of the racing tonight, although there was some good racing.
Yeah, I think I only did like 3 laps on my medium tyre.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But all in all, happy?
Yeah, definitely. I think I learned after the first kind of rages restart on the safety car, I knew I kind of had to go a bit earlier than that if I wanted my tyres to be nice and where I needed them to be.
Yeah.
And I think that benefited me, especially on the first restart I did. Or the second one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I think the first one you tried it out at the bus stop and it just seemed to not be the way for you to get yourself back going.
Yeah.
That was probably Nelly's closest restart to you. But again, once he pulled beside and you kind of deploy the ERS at the end of the straight, defending off his push, it just neutralises kind of any run.
Yeah, for sure.
Jensen, have you got anything to ask young Michael?
As always, there's not much to say. Everyone, well done.
Luckily, I'm not in the wall this time.
That was also just to add to the celebrations for you, Mike. That was a grand chelem with a pole win and fastest lap. So absolutely dominant. Even with the safety cars, kept that well. So well done.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Nelly, good evening.
Namaste, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's just if I wanted to punch the CEO of Codemasters, but it's alright.
Yeah, you gave it a good go. I think you pushed and pushed. Safety cars, as I said, I think we would have seen a lot more of you and Mike if there was more DRS opportunities. I think it just, like we were saying, it makes it very hard. You really tried on the last lap to get around the outside, but it's without causing a really big incident or yourself jeopardising yourself is very hard to get done. But I think start of the race, you had a good little tussle with SBW, and then you eventually got through. He made a mistake. He moved over. I think you had to get out it, but you still had. I think the DRS and ERS allowed you just to get in front, and then once you were in front, it was really just about you and Mike, really.
Yeah. I think I was surprised how, because this is, apart from Silverstone, this is one of my weak tracks. But I was surprised how I could stay with the top two. I think me and Mike are better at looking after our tyres than SBW. So near to the end of the first stint, SBW was struggling quite a lot, and I got past him. And then I think I had a lot of momentum. I was so surprised how quick I was, how I could keep up. That I may have been able to challenge Mike if there were no safety cars. Well, we'll never know in it. But like, I think after the first restart and the second restart, I think I just lost a lot of momentum, and I still gave it everything. But I'm not. Main thing is, I'm not taking anything away from Mike. I think with proper practice and like more preparation, I could have been as quick as him. But Mike was. I can't believe I'm saying this. Mike was the quickest today. He was quicker than me.
Wow.
So hats off to him. Yeah, respect to him.
So yeah, I think that's that's kind of the way. I think if you look at the qualifying gap, a solid half a second. So in that regards, Nelly, if you're saying maybe not your strongest circuit of the season, then P2, you minimise the damage Mike does against you in the championship. I think that's a job well done.
Yeah, it's strong tracks from now on. I can't. The only slightly weak track I'm worried about is Suzuka. But from here to the end, I'm confident that I can just continue, get back to winning ways, and just bring home the title. It's not far to go now. Not far to go. So we'll see what happens. Try and get a Tifosi win next weekend.
Yes. Oh, we would pay to see it. We would pay to see it. But Jensen, if you get anything to ask Nelly this evening?
No. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate. With like, you didn't have much practice, and that with qualifying as well, you just got bested for P3.
Yeah.
But you showed some really like never give up attitudes on the final few laps, really harrying like there, never really let him get easy for those last laps. But yeah, bit unfortunate for P2 today, as you would probably think, because you're usually winning every race. But I mean, yeah, still a decent race for me.
Yeah, I'll happily take home the 18 points. It's just one of those tracks where, especially with how overtake is in this game, and how they've added it to F1 2020, if we both DRS all the way up the straight, even if I get a slipstream, all I can do is get alongside. And that corner at the top of the hill, how you can't go around the outside, really, unless you like have better tyres or you are a genuinely quicker driver. But like, when you have someone who's as quick as you or quicker than you on the track, you're not getting around the outside. But that's racing. I think Monza, because of how they're at the end of the long straights, they're, even without DRS, their chicanes, I think, will be easier to overtake there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think you and Mike are going to have a good old showdown in Monza. That could be an absolute epic battle.
Yeah, one 7 wings.
Speed freaks. So, Jensen, before we tie up, I think driver of the day needs to be called. It's a tough one today. I think Mike drove really well.
That would be
Pedro,
my pick if I was going to go for one, to be honest.
Yep.
But
Couple of drivers for mention. I think Pedro was looking good for a top 6 again tonight, but then took out in something that was just collected a car that had spun, couldn't get out of the way. That is what it is. Dr. Special Energy drove a good race. I think SPW is really starting to show that, and even today it was a good solid battle between Nelly and SPW. Nothing crazy, and I think we could be set if SPW in the early phases, as Nelly says, it maybe drops off a bit latter side of the stints, but in the early stints it makes for some exciting racing. But yeah, I'd be happy to go. Yeah, I think Mike showed today that, as Nelly said, he was just the quicker driver, and I think we should acknowledge that this week. So yes, I'm happy with Michael being our driver of the day. So on that note, chat, OTL will be live on Wednesday. Tune in for OTL Elite. It's going to be one worth watching. Adam and the American shall see you then.